Hello and welcome to Bunny Hop. My name is George Weedman and I like Metal Gear Solid 3. This is, if not my favorite game of all time, one of my favorite games of all time. I can't really solidly say with much confidence that any one particular game is my favorite game, but this is pretty damn high up there. Now, what I'm trying to do here is rank up the difficulty really sky high so that I can persevere, really put myself out in the firing range, put my money where my mouth is, and just love this game under the harshest of conditions, because I routinely love all over this game. So anyways, what I'm going to be doing is a non-lethal European extreme run, which is nothing special, not that hard, but the kicker is that I'm not going to be using the tranquilizer. The tranquilizer is really kind of the game breaker here. It's a very powerful, very useful item that kind of sort of makes the stealth in this game work. And without it, what you end up doing is coming up with some very interesting improvisational strategies. You really have to take your time and learn to maneuver around these guards and anticipate their patrol patterns. But the game still works remarkably well without it. I mean, it's hard as balls, but what I love seeing is how you can impose some very strict regulations like that on yourself, and the crazy strategies that you come up with still feel very valid and logical in the game system. It's a very open-ended system. There's lots of different things you can do to make your weird, wacky strategies work, and they all feel appropriate. You'll see some of that soon, but I believe right now I have to move through a few areas of this jungle that do not have any guards to sneak around whatsoever. So it'll actually be a few more seconds before the actual stealth sneaking begins. But until then, what we are coming up with in this next area are some crocodiles that are kind of supposed to be an introductory segment to the game. I mean, in interviews, Kojima refers to them as the first enemies you have to encounter, but they really aren't much of a threat. Just cartwheel past them. You don't need to collect any food. Usually alligators are a pretty good source of that, because this is the Virtuous mission. The Virtuous mission ends after about half an hour, and Snake does not get hungry and does not need to eat after about a half hour. If that's how long it takes me. I mean, I've seen speedrunners get through this portion of the game in 2 minutes. And again, that's not me. I mean, I hardcore love me some Metal Gear Solid, but I'm not quite up there. Not yet. Maybe if I really need something to do with a year or something, I might hone my skills at this game. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna sneak that shit. Yes, let's get in this log, collect some bug juice. I'm never gonna need to use that, by the way. So, what's interesting about Metal Gear Solid 3 that the other Metal Gear Solids don't really do is that the stealth system here is not really like a Boolean measure of whether or not you're spotted. Like, it's not straight up, yes, no, you are spotted. Well, I mean, it eventually is, but there's a process to the way the guards look at you that eventually leads up to that moment, and whether or not you are spotted is a combination of 3 integers with lots of gray area in between the 3 of them. And it's your movement, it's your vicinity to the guard's line of sight, and it is your camo index, how camouflaged you are with the terrain. Now, Metal Gear Solid 3 is very nice and accommodating and gives you one of those 3 integers in the corner of the screen, a very easily readable number. As you can see, I'm 55% blending in with this grass here. Now I'm 80%. And the higher that number, the less of a chance I have of getting spotted by this guy up here. But he's not looking at me anyway, in classic field of view rules still. Fly! Alright. We're off to a great start here. I'm gonna have to try that one again. But, that's okay. There will always be a chance to continue, always be a chance to try a section again, learn something new. I think what I learned that time is that there will definitely be a guard looking in my direction when I approach that area, and that I probably want to wear a better camouflage. You know what works nicely in a lot of early areas in this game is DPM. What does DPM stand for? You can't more. I guess I'll never know. DPM Woodland. Let's rock it. Let's sneak that shit. Anyways, so in the meantime, while I'm waiting for this guy to go through, I guess I'll have to occupy my time by talking about something fun to myself and to you guys. No, 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 get away, get away. Ah! Here at Bunny Hop, we don't like to get upset about our failures. Failure is just another word for opportunity. It's just another word for learning experience, which is 2 words. Don't turn around, don't turn around. Okay, cool. And it's really a new beginning. Something that helps us in the long run. Like helping us not get spotted by this guy who was right here earlier. Aha, I see him. He's kind of sort of, well, he was kind of sort of blending into the background, but now his silhouette is showing plain as day above that tree. But what we also like to do when we're learning from failing is discovering that the D-pad lets you crawl without making any noise. As it turns out, your crawling speed, which is usually pretty slow, is not actually completely soundless. I forgive myself for not knowing that earlier. Here in European Extreme Mode Notranq Non-Lethal Bunny Hop Challenge, we learn a lot of new things every day, or maybe perhaps even every minute. Like earlier when I was playing this game, I learned that taking the left path on this donut-shaped area is in fact a lot better than taking that right path, because the crest in the elevation kind of blocks out the side of this guard here. And this guard is a problem, but he's not anymore. I think I'm good. Yeah, I'm totally good. No, no, you did not see something. Who said that? That guy said that. He's not moving. I'm just gonna crawl. European Extreme Mode is like belly crawl mode. You belly crawl through your whole way in European Extreme Mode almost. You guys will see what I mean shortly. So here at Dolino Vodno, there's one guard looking at the bridge with his back turned to me, which means I can slam him. We don't have the tranquilizer here at the Super Bunny Hop Notranq Non-Lethal European Extreme Challenge, but we do have the CQC Slam. And we also have a very, very cheap way of bypassing these guards just by hanging off the edge of this bridge. Even though I should technically be very visible and in plain sight, and I'm jiggling the bridge towards one end, they don't seem to notice. And they won't ever notice. Let me just get back up here and I can begin. That guy, I have a feeling that he's going to turn around. Let me get my camo index up by getting on the ground. Yep, I knew it. I knew he was going to turn around. Here at Super Bunny Hop, we like to plan ahead. We like to take things in stride and not rush into things blindly and get spotted by guards. Like, we have not done that before, twice already. This guy might be an issue, but here at Super Bunny Hop, we like to make the best of caution mode by getting inside grass and keeping our camo index up. And just being patient. That's what we do here when... Oh my god. What? I could have sworn I saw a little... I could have sworn I saw that guy flash a little alertness icon above his head for a second there. Am I clear on left? Yeah, that guy's not looking in my way. I'm gonna go for it. There's an XM16 underneath the bridge that I could have dropped down and grabbed, but seeing as how I'm not allowed to kill anyone, I don't consider that a particularly useful piece of equipment. I mean, I will be using a big-ass assault rifle for one boss battle in particular. Actually, more than one. I don't think Ocelot counts as a kill this early in the game. But, I generally will not be using lethal weapons here. That would be silly. I would be cheating myself of the wonderful experience that is imposing the most harshest and most difficult conditions on this game possible. You know, I suppose I could do a run where I don't even CQC the guards and just try to, like, keep them all alert and awake and sneak through nonetheless. I wonder if that's even doable. Oh god. I'm gonna have to use the tranquilizer during some of these boss battles. That's right, I don't think you can do the pain without the tranquilizer. Ah, well. I'll just not use the tranquilizer whenever I absolutely do not need to, and feel a sense of accomplishment nonetheless. I'll feel that I will have done something good with my time. All of these hours that I will spend playing this very difficult game will be a rewarding endeavor in time. Anyone who has completed a game under their own harsh self-imposed restrictions will know what I'm talking about. Now this factory is a bitch to sneak through in the original version of the game with its less than ideal camera angle. Like, look at this. You can't really see the guy perched on the left there, but here I'm using the Xbox 360 version of the HD collection of the game, in which you can use the fully controllable third-person camera. Ooh, that camera is a great relief. It's a very useful tool. What's also useful is this alternate route through the factory that allows you to sneak underneath the house and get on that ladder and get down to your objective from the top side. There's some more food here, but, you know, of course, I don't need it. This is the Virtuous mission. We're going to be acting virtuous and not killing innocent animals. Letting things live is a virtue. By the way, when I say non-lethal playthrough, that rule applies to guards only. And to guard dogs. I'm not going to kill any guard dogs, don't worry. In fact, I'm going to be a really nice guy to them and give them food. I'm going to wait for this guy to turn around. Any minute now. He's going to do it eventually, I know. Yes. Okay. Now there's that other guy who walks past here too. Yep. Okay, so let's see here. If I were to get up and climb up that ladder, I bet I'm not in their viewing radius right now. I don't know. Is that tree blocking his sightline to the ladder? I don't want to risk it. This is a non-lethal Notranq European Extreme Challenge. You can't take silly risks. You can't go climbing up ladders willy-nilly. You have to practice the most safe and responsible playstyles possible. Whoa. Okay. That was Sokolov. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. A few more knocks and he ought to come over. Oh, come on. Come on. Yes! No! It's a learning experience. Failure is a good thing. Yeah, this is how I learned that this hole was here. I remember a few years of playing through Metal Gear Solid 3, I found out that hole was there and just didn't that blow my mind. That was a fantastic revelation. A lot like discovering this alternate route through the factory. I really don't want to go through a frontal route and risk getting spotted by that guy up there. Man, oh man, people who speedrun this game and use the tranquilizers, you don't know how good you have it. Whew. I admit, my skills at Metal Gear Solid 3 are not as high as those, but I would really like to see someone do a Foxhound rank playthrough without the tranquilizer. Now that would be a real test. That would separate the men from the boys now, wouldn't it? In the meantime, I'll just be belly crawling my way to glory here. I was belly crawling my way to glory when I was like a kid, around 11 years old. I was in Air Force camp. Now that's a weird time in my life, isn't it? I went through a phase where I thought airplanes were cool, because, you know, airplanes are pretty cool. And spent a summer at Air Force camp. What could go wrong, right? Little kid who loves airplanes, going to Air Force camp. And I guess the one like major misstep in that decision-making process of mine when I convinced my parents to send me to Air Force camp was that I didn't really expect like it to be so militant. Like I thought planes were cool. I did not think that the military lifestyle was cool. What they had us do a lot of time there were drills where you just kind of like hop in place in front of an instructor who like yells at you to hop in place and do jumping jacks and stuff. And a lot of the other kids weren't exactly the kind of kids I got along with well. A lot of kind of redneck type situations going on. The camp was in Alabama after all. It was attached to Space Camp, which was probably way cooler and way more expensive. I do not regret my time at Air Force Camp, but it was a weird experience. All this belly crawling reminds me of it. And the final exam of Air Force Camp, like the stuff they make you do on the final week that you're there is crazy. So you're like this 11-year-old kid, and in order to pass your tests at Air Force Camp, they make you belly crawl through about a quarter mile of forested area and out in the woods in Alabama in the middle of the night. They set up some chain link fences and have the counselors kind of patrol around these woods and sneak up on kids who are belly crawling. I guess it was supposed to be like training for the guerrilla warfare, weaponless hippie combat of the 21st century when the world has just gone to hell and no one has guns anymore. Because what the instructors would do is sneak up on these kids belly crawling through the woods and go, "Hey." They'd get up right in their ears and whisper, "Hey kid, I got you. I found you. You're not gonna make it out of here alive. You're nothing. You're a scrawny little piece of trash." And what you had to do was not react to them. I mean, you know, like, this is kind of the reason why the whole, like, militancy of the situation turned me off was because, you know, they try to harden up your little 11-year-old mind into something that thinks he's worthless and will just follow orders and not question anything. But anyways, let me just punch this guy out here, and I should have a clear pathway to the ladder once he's out cold. Beautiful. Let's go. And what you had to do was not react to their like trash talk. That was the test. Was not cry or laugh or really like emote at all. You had to be a purely emotionless drone who would not buckle under the psychological pressure of post-nuclear psychological warfare. It was a weird time in my life. I don't, who am I kidding? It was pretty cool. Because airplanes were cool and I did get to play with the simulators and stuff. And simulators are neato. I didn't get flung around in that giant arm, though, that tests your body for high-G travel. Man, I really wanted to do that, but that was for the older kids. I think you had to be 17 or older to ride that thing. I did get to go in the little crashed helicopter pod that they dip into the water where you kind of like swim for your life and try to escape. Man, how is that legal? How was that shit legal? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Come on, let's go. There we go. Everyone's out cold. If you haven't been paying attention to the cutscene, you'll know that Snake like kung fu's the shit out of everyone because Snake's a badass. But we're not playing for the story right now. Not this time. It's a good story, but I'm all about the gameplay here at Super Bunny Hop. God, you know, when I was at Air Force Camp, that's also when I discovered that a lot of, like, same-sex institutions in society are really gay. Yeah. Like prisons and military organizations and stuff. Anyways, next time on this Let's Play, I'm going to be tackling Operation Snake Eater and finding the ocelots. See you that time. Have a good evening, everybody.